Welcome to the news. Represented, my name is Jessie Kalambo. The headlines. HHECL advises to work together in the absence of RB. RB's death leaves a torment in the hearts of many Zambians. Government cancels this year's youth celebration as Mwimbo goes ahead. Local manufacturers advised to produce more desks and sell to government schools. Minister Nkandu clarifies reports on abandoned youth who attended an Indira. And now the news in detail. Fourth Republican President Rupiah Banda's death has tormented the feelings of many Zambians. Depending on which side of history one stood, many have described him in various ways. Muvi TV News delved into the history of the former head of state building up to his death.
The opposition are against. You need to deal. Look at it. Look at it. I shouldn't do it.
Former Republican President Rupiah Banda during a press briefing at State House in June 2009. He was born 19 February 1937 and served as Zambia's fourth Republican president from 2008 to 2011, taking over from Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, who suffered a stroke while attending an African Union summit in Egypt in 2008 and died as the sitting president. Banda was an active member in politics since the presidency of Kenneth Kaunda, where he held several diplomatic posts, such as UNIP's representative in Northern Europe in the early 1960s, Zambia's ambassador to Egypt in 1965, and during his time as foreign minister from 1975 to 1976. Banda was bent on the task of attempting to broker a ceasefire in Angola. In October 2006, he was appointed as vice president by Mwanawasa. Following Mwanawasa's death in August 2008, he became acting president, and during the October by-elections, he narrowly won against opposition leader Mike Osata of the Patriotic Front. He suffered resistance of power to the famous Barotse royal establishment arising, where a riot ensued in Mongu, killing many people in Western Province.
The residents, who are said to be sponsored by a group calling itself Rinyungandambo, also removed Zambia national flags at the Ministry of Labour, Auditor General's office and the council offices.
His tenure was marred by allegations of corruption, and he was in turn eventually defeated in the September 2011 presidential election, which saw Sata succeed Banda as president on 23 September 2011. In 2013, Zambia's parliament stripped Banda of immunity from prosecution, clearing the way for investigations to arrest him for corruption-related offenses. He stood accused of abuse of office, corrupt acquisition of public property, and misappropriation of public funds involving more than $11 million during his tenure as president. However, to date, he has never been convicted in a court of law and did not serve any jail time, though many claim that this is because he received protection from members of the Patriotic Front. According to him, he did not steal any money, but did what he thought was best at the time.
We never rigged, we never cheated, we never knowingly abused state funds. We simply did what we thought was best for Zambia.
3 years after his loss, Rupiah was occupied with taking care of his second wife, Tandiwe Banda, a political science teacher who was more than 30 years younger than him. Tandiwe was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2014, and after receiving treatment in South Africa, the former First Lady was declared cancer-free the following year, 2015. However, the scourge of cancer was not to be permanently evicted from their home, as 5 years later, in 2020, Rupiah Banda was diagnosed with cancer of the colon but did not disclose the stage of the disease. He also played a mediatory role between former President Edgar Lungu and Hakainde Hichilema after the 2021 general elections. In 2021, he had to leave the Samuel Yamumba traditional ceremony before the proceedings could finish and be escorted to his vehicle as he was unwell. He called on all Zambians to pray for him.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Your Royal Highnesses, all the people of Southern Province. Thank you for inviting me. I am so grateful. I'm grateful for your prayers, because as you know, I'm not well. Thank you for praying for me and continue. Your Excellency, Mr. President, thank you. Bye.
The former president, aged 85, died around 19 hours at his home in Makeni area on Friday, 11th March 2022, after being diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago. His family and the current Republican president, Hakainde Hichilema, have confirmed.
It is with great sadness that we announce to the nation the death of Zambia's fourth Republican president, His Excellency President Rupiah Banda.
A day before his demise, President Hichilema visited Banda, but his office only published images of him bidding farewell to Tandiwe, his widow.
They should be allowed to speak freely. They should not. I don't like when I read some of my good friends say, no, he should not come. You're telling me I should not come back. That is up to me.
Virginia Chilongo, Muvi TV News, Lusaka.
Among the best youth activist Derek Kamanga has urged President Hakainde Hichilema and former head of state Edgar Lungu to emulate the mode of good governance from the late fourth Republican president, Mr. Rupiah Banda. Mr. Kamanga says the late Rupiah Banda demonstrated his true color of good governance when he accepted defeat from late Mike Sata, hence the need for the two leaders to put aside the political conflict and focus on developing this country and develop the country together. He has since appealed to the two leaders to demonstrate the One Zambia, One Nation motto through being genuine to the people of Zambia.
That the country, going forward, we only have now one surviving former president, who is Airtel Chapter. And we only have one president, who is Hakainde Hichilema. These are our leaders whom we expect a lot at this juncture to offer leadership to the country as the leaders of the country. President Lungu and President Hakainde Hichilema, they should show the country that really the country is bigger than any of us. The country is bigger than them by offering that leadership that the country really needs at this hour. We would like to see these two leaders barring their political differences going forward and offer that environment that will see Zambia as a united nation. As we say, Zambia is one nation, one Zambia, one nation. So even our leaders, they should participate to lead. They shouldn't allow politics to divide the country, because the country at now really expects and demands a lot from them, and they should offer that leadership. Rupiah Banda was the statesman and is now gone. So we are looking up to these two people to really offer the country the leadership that will help us spearhead development, national unity going forward. Thank you.
Just as it has been always. So we don't expect them to go back to start quarreling or whatever. We expect peace to reign despite them maybe having someone to tell them what to do. But we just expect them to continue the peace that we have at the moment. So we don't expect them to start quarreling, having misunderstanding, but we just expect them to continue whatever.
Develop our country, we empower us so that we work together
Has cancelled all activities to mark this year's Youth Day commemoration countrywide in honor of the late fourth Republican President Rupiah Banda, Former President Rupiah Banda died in Lusaka Friday evening at the age of 85 years after succumbing to colon cancer. Addressing the media Saturday morning, Chief Government Spokesperson Chushi Kasanda says that during the morning period of 7 days there will be no social gatherings like it was earmarked as part of the commemoration of Youth Day, and all sports tournaments, including the laying of wreaths, have been cancelled. Ms. Kasanda says that during this period the flag will be at half-mast to mourn the gallant soldier.
As you are aware, today we have a black cloud in Zambia. We have lost our fourth Republican president, His Excellency, Mr. Rupiah Banda, and due to that dark cloud, we will not be able to celebrate the Youth Day. The commemoration was supposed to take off today, but because of what has happened, we are in mourning as a country, we are in mourning as government, and therefore we have cancelled all activities today. Therefore, there will be no celebrations. As you are aware, today we're supposed to have celebrations, and when you're in mourning, you cannot celebrate. So that is why, as government, we've cancelled all celebrations today. That means we'll be will not be having the football matches, which so many people are looking forward to, especially in the rural constituencies. As you are aware, we are at the statue right now, and we're not laying wreaths as well. All our diplomats were here, all senior government officials were here, but we will not lay the wreaths as well. And therefore, everything has been cancelled today. And all music that is going to be played today should be soul music, and stick to that as a nation.
Meanwhile, the cancellation of Youth Day celebration has fallen short as some Monza residents have filtered adhere to the directive by government through Minister of Information Chushi Kasanda, who made a public announcement in what may be seen as the delay in the flow of information. The youth in Monza district went ahead with the celebration as planned. The event was graced by their Member of Parliament, Jack Mwimbu, who is also Home Affairs Minister. During the celebration, Home Affairs Minister urged the youth of Monza district to desist themselves from what he calls a bad tendency of depending on handouts, stating government has given them an opportunity of venturing into business and skills activities where they can generate income from. Mr. Mwimbo says it is a time for the youth of Zambia to take advantage of money government has taken to the constituency through CDF, and they should apply through some project proposals. The Home Affairs Minister has also highlighted the need to learn from good governance, which late fourth Republican President Mr. Rupiah Banda demonstrated during his time in office.
I've never seen anyone who would be distributing poverty. You can only distribute riches. And the only way you can distribute riches is to be engaged in business. If you don't engage in business, you will not achieve what you want. I know that others want to get jobs. Yes, you can get jobs if they are available. But take note, if you get employed as a teacher, that job is yours. When you die, your children will not inherit that position of being a teacher. But if you do carpentry and you have a business, when the good Lord calls you, your children and family will take over and continue running the business. That is how life is. That is how we should live. In this part of the country, where people are endowed with the knowledge of cattle rearing and other livestock, it's very easy. If you can't do any other business, just apply and say you want to buy 10 heads of cattle and 1 bull. In 2 years, you have more than 30 heads of cattle. And you will not find yourself in poverty again. So overpower. He participated in the governance of this country from the time he lost the elections by advising those in government and those in the opposition to ensure that we practice democracy in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not be aware that after the 12 August 21 elections, President Banda once again rose above partisan politics and ensured that there was a smooth transition of power in Zambia.
Watching Muvi TV's primetime news. Let's take a break. See you shortly.
The Zambia Statistics Agency will this year conduct the census across the country. The census aims to count people in households, rural and urban, hospitals, military, police and correctional facilities. This numbering will extend to hotels, farms, as well as high-density areas with different families sharing a house and those in transitory locations. Every person in the country matters and should be counted because the census will benefit all, from migrants, refugees and street children, homeless people, the young and the old people, as well as persons with disabilities. Everyone
Fairview University College. We aim at excellence.
One expert. Anyone can get lucky.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
Welcome back. In other news, the National Democratic Congress NDC Savoy Imboila's late Group Secretary General Charles Kabwita has called on Zambians to be united, at least for once, and celebrate the demise of the late Fourth Republican President Rupiah Banda, who died on Saturday, March 11, 2022. Mr. Kabwita has charged it is high time Zambians put their differences aside for the sake of respecting the late RB, who contributed to the development of Zambia as served in various positions. He says his party is saddened by the death of Mr. Banda.
We have received the demise of our first our former head of state, His Excellency Rupiah Banda, with great shock. We wish to appeal to our members to mourn our former head of state with respect. I'm aware that youths are taking part all over the world in Youth Day celebrations. We are mourning, therefore celebrate and be mindful of the fact that we have lost the father of the nation. We wish to also remember or acknowledge the immense contribution His Excellency the President rendered to our country. It is against this background that we should celebrate his life with honor and respect. I thank you. My name is Charles Kabwita, Secretary General, NDC.
Nkandu has clarified the reports indicating that some youths who came for the youth Indaba in Lusaka are stranded. Mr. Nkandu, who is also Kaputa Member of Parliament, says all those that have not travelled back to their destinations will leave to their various towns by Sunday, the 13th March 2022. The 3 days youth Indaba that was organised by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts was scheduled to come to an close Saturday, 12 March. However, due to the demise of the former Fourth Republican President Rupiah Banda, the event had a premature close. However, some youths decided to protest, claiming that they have been abandoned by the ministry.
About 600, that is bus fares and all the other things that I needed on the way, like food. And of course, the necessity for a trip. But for the transport refund, we're being given 350, which is the bus fare from Lusaka to Western Province, and that is not enough for the things that I expect.
If we knew that we don't have the capacity, we would have told you to go. Now we've told you that we are leaving tomorrow morning. We ask from our youths is patience. You know, we are entangled in a lot of issues. Today is a Youth Day celebration. And we came here as 8 at 7. The directors also came here as 8 at 7. And I think maybe what was important for us is to communicate, because what we are doing is that they are living tomorrow. They are not living today. They are living tomorrow. So those that have not been given transport refunds will be given today. So they should not claim that they are stranded. Yes, I've even advised some of the youths, some of this from Western Province and other provinces. I talked to them. I said, don't worry. You are getting back into your rooms because you are leaving tomorrow. So please, we should not dilute what was done. They came here for interaction, and we interacted. Their experiences, ideas have been shared with us, and we are about to come up with a very good, clear policy and a clear plan for them to benefit. So they should not just dilute everything because of a transport refund. So I want to state that we are giving everything that is due to them.
Lapula Province Health Director Dr. Peter Bwalia has urged hospital administrators in the province to keep health facilities clean. Dr. Bwalia, who spoke shortly after inspecting Mansa General Hospital mortuary, which had an incident of a 6-year-old boy's body found with rat bites on the face on 28 February 2022, 22, but found the facility painted and also clean, advised the hospital administrators to be proactive in ensuring that all the health facilities are clean, both inside and out. Dr. Bradia adds the facilities in the province are now receiving grants monthly, as January, February have already been received and just waiting for the month of March. Therefore, district directors and hospital superintendents should ensure that they have essential drugs in health facilities.
Following an incident that occurred at Mansa General Hospital mortuary, where the body of a boy was found with some rat bite on the face, Luapula Province Health Director has conducted an inspection on Mansa General Hospital mortuary to check whether the hospital administration has painted the facility and taken the necessary precautions to ensure that the incident does not repeat.
I would like to report that from the last unfortunate incident that actually transpired here at Mansa General Hospital mortuary, we haven't recorded any of such being reported where, the remains of, our patient has actually been, tampered with by, rats, so to say. And I also like to, report.
Dr. Wali has also instructed the district health directors in the province and medical superintendents to ensure that priority medicine are bought as they wait for more medicine from ZAMSA.
Emphasizing to, district health directors and medical superintendents to pay particular attention to that 4 to 10% allocation from their grants to buy, the priority medicines, so that our people can, be able to receive, the care that they need as we wait for, more deliveries from, ZAMSA.
He has also assured the public of quality services.
Just to assure the members of the general public that our job is to provide, quality, services, including, mortuary services. So we are going to keep an eye on this, and we are going to make it as a key performance indicator, where we check, on a monthly basis with regards to the way, especially the mortuary, is functioning. So besides the other things that we, track, I think we are also going to add this so that we do not lose the, track, because we don't want to be, reactive to situations. We want to be proactive.
Ellen Chisha reporting for Muvi TV News in Mansa District.
As a trade and industry, Chipoka Malenga says the government is focusing on attracting investment aimed at growing local production capacities. Mr. Malenga says that Zambian can only develop when locals take an active part in various production value chain as opposed to being spectators. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News, he says government is strongly exploring various mechanisms of partnerships between local and foreign investors to have this goal achieved.
Among many others. And this is not only for foreign direct investment. It's an investment that we're trying to woo from the world that is going to partner with the locals. For a very long time, we've done facilities, we've done policies and certain concessions we've given to foreign nationals that are investing in Zambia. But we need to change the narrative. We want a local player to be a part of the value chain. We want a local player to be a part of the ecosystem. The investment that we are wooing from the UAE and the rest of the world is to partner with the Zambians. In the absence of partnership and allowing Zambians to have an equal share in the value chain, there will be continued poverty and no growth of the local entrepreneur. So in Dubai, we didn't just go as tourists. We didn't go as tourists. We went there as people that are responsible citizens trying to bring sound investment to this country.
I would also want to find out what you make out of the war between Russia and Ukraine with regards to the impact it will have to the industry of trade.
I take that for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will give a statement on that. There are two countries involved there other than our country, so Ministry of Foreign Affairs will handle that well. And by the way, Zambia has made its position known when we went at the United Nations.
On news items, stay tuned.
This year's International Women's Day theme is to imagine a gender-equal world, a world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. We have come a long way on the road to gender balance in the aviation industry. We at Rwandair are committed to creating an inclusive work culture that not only supports but also contributes to women's. Happy Women's Day from us all at Rwandair.
Fairview University College is enrolling students for the January-April 2022 intake in the following: School of Education, Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Education in Primary Education, Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education, Bachelor of Education in Special Education, Diploma in Early Childhood Education, Diploma in Primary Education, Diploma in Secondary Education, Diploma in Special Education, Certificate in Early Childhood Education, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Diploma in Public Relations, School of Hotel and Tourism, Diploma in Food and Production, Diploma in Front Office, Diploma in Food and Beverages Management, Diploma in Hospitality and Events Management, and Diploma in Sales and Marketing. For more information, visit us at Regent College along Kwazi Road or the North Mid Campus at plot number 11 Luamba Road, Lusaka, or call us on 0955 787114 or 0966 787114 or 0977 787114. Fairview University College. We aim at excellence.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Natural family planning educator Kakoma Kavava has urged women in the country to move away from the use of pills and injections as a family planning, but take a keen interest in utilizing natural family planning method. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News in Lusaka, Mr. Kavava disclosed that family planning that is done through pills and injection users experiences some common side effects such as irregular bleeding, headaches, dizziness, and weight gain, or even loss, among other things, as compared to the natural family planning that does not require women to take a pill or any injection. He notes that the method only requires women to understand their body to know when they can be pregnant or not.
The Sustainable Development Goals in the countries by 2030 to ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health care services, including the family planning, information and education, and the integration of reproductive health into national strategies and programs. It is for this reason, natural family planning educator Kakoma Kavava has urged females in the country to move out from the use of pill and injection family planning, but taking interest in utilizing natural family planning methods. And speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News in Lusaka, Mr. Kavava states that family planning that is done through pills and injection, users experience some side effects such as irregular bleeding, dizziness, and weight gain or loss, compared to the natural family planning that does not require a woman to take a pill or any injection. The family planning educator knows that the method only requires women to understand their body to know when they can be pregnant or not.
The reason is very simple. We need to understand our body. God has given us the knowledge to understand when we are fertile and when we are not fertile. So the benefits of you actually understanding your body to achieve pregnancy or to avoid pregnancy, it is the most paramount thing. So we are teaching a new thing to the women. This thing actually, it is telling you that ovulation is a sign of health. You have to understand when you are ovulating to have pregnancy. And at all costs, even when you do not want to have pregnancy, you have to understand when you are ovulating.
Margaret Chota, Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
Minister of Science and Technology has disclosed that it has engaged several technical institutes across the country to train youths on how to make modern desks. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News in Lusaka, Minister of Science and Technology Felix Mutati says this is being done to ensure that each constituency in the country has people that are able to manufacture desks for schools within their localities. Mr. Matati notes that the training will be done in the period of 3 months for all interested youths in various constituencies to ensure that they are equipped with the necessary competences required to manufacture desks. He further says that this will enable youths in various constituencies to benefit from the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, as it was decentralized by the New Dawn government. Mr. Matati has also challenged the public schools across the country to buy desks from local manufacturers as a way of empowering local youths within their localities.
Of institutions that are under Tereta, and I'll just give you one as an example. We call it SOTI, which is the Technical Training Institute based in Solwezi. As we speak now, they are actually making desks. They are training young people to make desks. They are redesigning the making of a desk so that it is adaptable to the rural setting, so that it is able to be repaired by ordinary people in the rural setting. So the direction that we're taking as a ministry is to expand on the capacity of making desks. 1, 2, to use that desk opportunity as a training of equipping our youths with the necessary competences that they require to be able to make desks. So we'll be training them for 3 months. When they graduate, they'll be able to make desks. So they'll be able to create the tuntembas, the companies, the cooperatives, and become entrepreneurs in their various localities to do desks. And like I said, we are training youths per constituency. So each constituency will have a brigade of youths that are carpenters who can actually do desks, who are metal fabricators who can do desks. So it will be easy at the local level for them to harvest from the CDF that is there and say, I can be able to supply you 100 desks, 200 desks.
Kazungula District-based Youth Representative Aaron Sakala has described the cancellation of the Youth Day celebration as a good move to allow the countryman-led former President Rupia Banda. He says despite the overshadowing of the day by the funeral, youths should continue pressing for their participation in the national development. Mr. Sakala says that following the youth endeavor, he is optimistic that government will fulfill its obligation in matters of young people.
My name is Sakala Aaron. I'm representing the youths of Kazungula District on this very important day of the Youth Day. Our celebration has been overshadowed by the death of our fourth Republican president, Mr. Rupia Banda. May he so rest in peace. Basically, we have prepared a lot as a district, looking at the theme for this year, enhancing youth participation at all levels of national interest. This is a day that provides an opportunity for us, the youths, to express our views on issues affecting our well-being. It is also a day to reflect on the rights, opportunities, and freedoms of the youth, as well as our obligation, responsibility, and contribution towards the national development. Yesterday, we had an opportunity as a country where we had the National Youth Endeavor. There, the president highlighted a lot of things for the youths. One of them was where His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema assured the youths of Zambia that government is committed to provide substantial spaces of full participation in the country's social and economic, as well as leadership endeavors. It is our petition to the powers would be in the district that the assurance made by the president may stream down to Kazungula district. It is on a sad note that all the celebrations have been cancelled, but we would like to wish all the youths of Kazungula a happy Youth Day. May God bless you all.
Professions Teachers Unions of Zambia Pertus General Secretary Kango Masenge has advised the protesting teachers to ensure they follow all laid down procedures before embarking on the protest. Speaking when he featured on Muvi TV's special interview, Mr. Masenge says that teachers should know that they are role models of the country, hence they should be the ones leading by example in following the laid down procedures. He says what the teachers should have done was to seek an audience with the DEBS PS, even the Minister of Education, before marching to State House.
Of replacement were not properly done.
Yeah.
We requested the authorities to equalize, to manage the way the recruitment was done. And most of the district education board secretaries did point that they were just being given letters from Lusaka, whether Teaching Service Commission or Ministry of Education, to deploy these teachers. They don't even have, they are not on payroll now. They are not on payroll. Those are the colleagues you have seen going to protest.
Right.
I think the Human Resource Department has a serious role to play into this issue. The political wing, there's a thin line between politics and law.
Yeah.
The line is too thin.
Yeah.
Now, that thin line should be managed. And most of these colleagues who were deployed, the 3,000 colleagues who are deployed, who are now protesting, the 1,000 are protesting against the 3,000. We need to come to a round table. The current Teaching Service Commission is managing that. The pronouncement by the authorities that there was impropriety in the manner these issues were done, it also must be managed. Of course.
How can it be managed?
It must be managed in a way that now things should be done properly.
In which way?
By certainly those who are already deployed, because they have letters.
Yeah.
Mind you, Vincent.
Yeah.
In my possession, I have hundreds of letters. And these are the teachers who are saying, I was deployed to Monze, I was deployed to Mongo. Those who were lucky, when the noise started, quickly PEMIC vacancies were created. And they are getting their salaries. Others, they are still languishing on the streets. But we still have other teachers who are deployed and they're getting salaries and they're not working. So the problem is so bigger than we can see. The danger was the previous authority, they don't listen. They listened to cadres on the streets. Those were giving them intel information, which was even wrong. Throwing innocent teachers on the streets. Mind you, the economical development of this country lies in the eyes of the teacher. And believe me not, we will definitely continue advising the current.
That note, see you shortly.
expert. Anyone can get lucky.
Fairview University College is enrolling students for the January-April 2022 intake in the following: School of Education, Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Education in Primary Education, Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education, Bachelor of Education in Special Education, Diploma in Early Childhood Education, Diploma in Primary Education, Diploma in Secondary Education, Diploma in Special Education, Certificate in Early Childhood Education, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Diploma in Public Relations, School of Hotel and Tourism, Diploma in Food and Production, Diploma in Front Office, Diploma in Food and Beverages Management, Diploma in Hospitality and Events Management, and Diploma in Sales and Marketing. For more information, visit us at Regent College along Kwazi Road or the Northmead Campus at plot number 11 Luamba Road, Lusaka, or call us on 0955 787114 or 0966 787114 or 0977 787114. Fairview University College. We aim at excellence.
Akamwana kanono nomsepela kwikala chapamo kuribe kumunzi kuribe mutauni kumatero aliyenze afunika.
The Zambia Statistics Agency will this year conduct the census across the country. The census aims to count people in households, rural and urban, hospitals, military, police and correctional facilities. This numbering will extend to hotels, farms, as well as high-density areas with different families sharing a house and those in transitory locations. Every person in the country matters and should be counted because the census will benefit all, from migrants, refugees and street children, homeless people, the young and the old people, as well as persons with disabilities. Everyone counts. This message is brought to you by the Zambia Statistics Agency.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Left a fourth Republican president has been described as a man who focused on the rule of law and upholding of law democratic tenets during his reign. SADC Truck Driver Secretary General and Association President Kaiko Wamunyima says Mr. Banda's service to the country cannot be ignored. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Wamunyima says the country will mourn the gallant son of the soil for his contribution to the national development. He adds his efforts in seeing to it that the SADC region and Africa at large continues to enjoy peace and stability will be written in history books.
Laid with great sorrow on the death of the fourth Republican president, His Excellency Lukia Banda. The association remembers President Banda as a statesman who committed himself to the law of law during his reign as a Republican president. President Banda service to the country, starting as a diplomat to a Republican president of the land, cannot and will not be forgotten by Zambians, as he dedicated himself to service above self. The country will indeed mourn the gallant son of the soil for his contribution to national development. His effort in seeing to it that SADC region and African at large countries to enjoy peace and stability will be written in.
With adolescent girls in Zambia still vulnerable to vices such as early marriages and drug abuse, an international non-government organization, Care International, has secured more than 9 million Canadian dollars from Global Affairs Canada for a 7-year project called Sexual and Reproductive Health and Economic Empowerment, supporting out of school adolescent girls' rights and skills. She Souls. Speaking at the launch of the She Souls initiative that was attended by Her Royal Highness Chief Madziumawe and Chief Zingalume Chupata, Care Country Director Chief Gwembwenda says that the project will focus on adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights and in Kasaningwa, Mambwe and Chadiza district of Eastern Province. Mrs. Wenda says that the project will directly support 19,000 adolescents in the 3 districts that comprise about 15,000 girls and 4,000 boys.
And the Ministry of Health to support maternal and child health, including adolescent reproductive health, and most recently, the fight against COVID-19 across all provinces in Zambia. Guest of honor, Your Royal Highnesses, Care International in Zambia is committed to promoting gender equality in all its programming, especially the empowerment of women and girls who bear the brunt of poverty. Women and girls experience a complex constellation of factors, including gender inequality and limited access to resources and social services, such as education and healthcare. It is for this reason that CARE is targeting our work to support out-of-school adolescent girls aged between the ages of 10 to 19 years who have the least access to adolescent-friendly sexual and reproductive health services.
For DW News, we monitored Al Jazeera.
First, and this has led some analysts to say that Russia's troops are regrouping now. They're trying a different strategy.
Well, thanks for that, Matthias. We see the anger there on the streets from those people who were walking past you. I want to ask about the situation in Kyiv itself, especially with regard to supplies. Where do things stand? Will people be able to hold out against a possible Russian onslaught?
The question is what this Russian onslaught will look like. So there are different scenarios that are probable and that are feared here. One of them would be that Russia would be able to close the ring around the capital, and then we would see something similar to Mariupol, people not being able to leave, supplies not coming in. I believe that the city has, of course, stocked up with supplies, but you only get that far with these supplies, and we are also seeing that a lot of places inside the city have been fortified. There are lots of roadblocks, etc. The other scenario is a mass bombardment like in Kharkiv, where huge parts of the city, of the residential areas of the city, are constantly being shelled, and thus a humanitarian crisis is brought upon the city. This is another thing. Of course, it would be very hard for people to live under these circumstances and to cope with them. But for now, what we've been seeing also is that despite all efforts, Russian troops have not managed to get any closer to the city than they have been. There have been a few advances. Others have been fought back. So basically, it stays where it is, but with a lot more firepower and troops seemingly coming in.
Let's talk about the diplomatic efforts. Ukrainian President Zelensky has suggested talks with Russia in Jerusalem. What else can you tell us about that proposal?
Jerusalem has taken the initiative to talk to both leaders. Jerusalem has very good relations. The actual Israeli government has very good relations to Putin's government, and there was an effort to negotiate between the two. However, so far what we are hearing is that nothing of this has really worked, or that there haven't been any results. There has been the news that Israel was pressuring Ukraine to surrender. This has been this has been falsified by the Ukrainian government, saying that there had not been such a pressure. And as a reaction to these news, Zelensky has suggested that Israel might invite the two parties to negotiate in Jerusalem. But it's only one possible way where people could be negotiating. The problem is, what could they be negotiating against when there is the maximum demand from Russia that Russia is still upholding, that Ukraine basically give up its army and its sovereignty, and Ukraine demanding Russian troops out of the country. So there is not much to negotiate about, except, and that's the hope, that this might be advancing. There have been attempts to negotiate smaller problems like humanitarian corridors to release the pressure on the population, to relieve the humanitarian crisis. This is probably something that's much more likely to negotiate upon than any outcome of the war.
Okay, our correspondent.
That was international news with the DW, and we end the news on that note. A recap of the top stories. HHECL advised to work together in the absence of ARB. RB's death leaves a torment in the hearts of many Zambians. The government cancels this year's Youth Day celebration as Mwimbo goes ahead. Local manufacturers advised to produce more desks and sell to government schools. Minister Nkandu clarifies reports of abandoned youth who attended an endeavour. Thank you so much for watching the news. Continue enjoying the rest of our programming.